Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Anything for my princess.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Mastication.
No, you can't really say that on
Mastication.
There.
I
But
can say
guys,
mastication on TV.
how you doing? This is Isaac Anderson.
I am Tyler.
And this is a show called Big Bang Cinema. This is a movie show where we talk about movie news
Movie reviews.
and everything in between. And real quick, before we introduce our guest, I want to introduce Christopher Darkins. How you doing, buddy?
Chrissy D.
Good,
What's up,
good.
buddy?
Chrissy D. I don't like that.
You can probably recognize my voice from Game On every Thursday from 1 to 2 on 89.1 FM, your source for game music, news reviews, and remixes.
I recognize your name because I hear it in my soul every single night.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that's true.
I hear your name every Thursday, so I've memorized it.
And over here we have special guest. He is a former host here at Studio 67.
And a self-defined Wes Anderson.
Aficionado. Yeah,
Yes.
we got Mr. Joey D over here from Wilmington, North Carolina. How you doing?
Oh, well, a lot better than Wilmington, currently, so.
Oh, are you evacuated?
I am evacuated.
Well, he's
which is
here.
why
How
I'm
is he
here,
not
man.
evacuated?
What if he was evacuated or he's just here visiting, you know?
Nope, it was forced.
That was forced.
Yeah, okay. Well, speaking about Forced, Joaquin Phoenix has been in the DC movie, and he's playing the Joker, and they just released some photos of him.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
Let's look at those now.
I'm excited.
Oh, that's not the photo of Joaquin Phoenix. That's me and Hunter and Chris. Ah, there he is. So, Mr. Joaquin Phoenix is sitting there all weathered-like in the face, and he's playing Batman's big old...
Arthur.
Batman's Arthur.
His name's Arthur.
Okay,
The guy's name's Arthur. I'm not lying.
Really?
His name's Arthur.
well, it's not as threatening as the Joker. Well, he's
No,
playing the Joker.
Arthur's scary. Arthur's a creepy name.
Arthur Scary. I don't know. I've seen the TV show. But anyway, what do you think about... there's a few photos that were leaked of him on being on set, but specifically this is the one that Todd Phillips released on his Twitter. What do you think?
He looks like Joaquin Phoenix, but there's a clown behind him.
That's about right. Yeah, exactly. We don't get too much from this. We don't see him in the makeup. I don't think we're going to see him in the makeup until probably the very end of the film, which I kind of like. But it's kind of more of the origin story of him. I don't know, Joey, what do you think of just kind of the photos that you saw of this?
The photos are kind of creepy. And especially the look at the big guy, the clown nose.
Yeah.
Like, Joaquin Phoenix is, not a guy that I would want to meet in an alley anywhere, just because he looks like a homeless man most of the time. But, like, this larger gentleman in clown mask attire, no, I would be going the other way.
Oh.
So, I love it. I kind of...
You want to ask for a balloon animal, sir?
I'm really not. I would not. I'm really into the photos. I'm really looking forward to learning more about the film. It looks like they're going to that... all it takes is one bad day kind of deal to turn a good guy into a Joker.
Oh, it's like the movie back with Al Pacino, right?
Which one are you talking about?
Dog's Day Afternoon. No, is it Dog's Day Afternoon?
I don't know.
Am I correct?
Yes,
Is it Dog's Day Afternoon? Where guy has the worst day
If
of
it
his
didn't
life?
happen before like 2013, I probably don't know about it.
See, I mean, I'm up for this because I mean, I wanted to see. You got talent behind this whole production crew. Bradley Cooper is producing this film.
Bradley Cooper's producing this film?
Bradley Cooper.
I didn't know this. I know Martin Scorsese is he's producing it, and Todd Phillips, the director of The Hangover, is directing this, which I'm very excited. Apparently, according to Joaquin Phoenix, the tone is not really like in any sort of genre. It's kind of like its own thing, and he said it really terrifies him because it's just like something so different, and he hopes people are going to respond. If we know DC, they have such a great track record that it's going to work out. Why are you laughing?
Are you being sarcastic, sir?
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not. I don't trust DC at all to do anything.
Okay, Chris, what do you think about the photos?
I mean, I wasn't prepared to speak at all.
Okay. Okay, I'll call on you only if you want to be called on next time, okay?
But Isaac, just
Jaquan.
chicken.
Quan Pahona.
Shut up. We don't talk about that anymore. Speaking about chicken, Disney has just released released.
Release it.
Release it. They're Guillermo del Toro. They release it. He's not Italian, by the way. You had to watch an old episode of the show to understand that. But Captain Marvel came out with a trailer. Oh my goodness!
And it looks great.
Yeah. Well, that's for us to decide. Captain Marvel is the newest movie from Marvel Studios.
It's going to be their Wonder Woman film.
It stars Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, or wherever her name is originally.
Carol Danvers.
Whatever. Nerd.
What?
And she runs into Nick Fury.
Oh my gosh! When was the last time you seen a blockbuster?
I'm gonna be a pedant and say those prices are wrong.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier the prices were a little bit too high.
No way. 1990s? No.
Yeah, the big thing is it takes place in the 1990s. Obviously, from the Blockbuster video, you look at some of the fashion and whatnot. Tyler knows more about Captain Marvel than I do. Can you give people like a 20-second little rundown of what Captain Marvel is?
None of this is Captain Marvel.
Well, it is now, so suck that up.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody you're going to tell the original Captain Marvel thing to is going to say you're wrong because they saw this movie.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Captain Marvel's about a guy from another planet. He was at war with the Kree, and he comes to Earth, and they're supposed to be he's supposed to help overtake it for the Kree Empire because the Skrulls want it too. So he ends up fighting the Skrulls and the Kree, his own people, becomes Earth protector to save it. But I believe that is going to be Jude Law's character.
Sounds pretty hot.
Yeah. So this is none of this is what's going on. And then she was blasted by like some energy and turned into get Kree powers.
Heard. Yeah. You get blasted from energy on Earth, you usually get some form of cancer.
Yeah, that is true.
We have a question directly from Drew. What is her power?
Okay, first power was she had the same power as Captain Marvel, super strength. She had the she could interface with Kree technology. She was she pretty much like Wonder Woman almost. And then she got to where she could channel cosmic energy. So she could turn into binary. She was like on fire, and she was just like. Any cosmic energy blast at or come at her, she would absorb. I think she could absorb black holes and get even stronger.
Oh man, I put my essential oils on at night. I can channel all the energy of the cosmos.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's at least what the person holds.
So it's Marvel's version of Superman.
Not at all. It's like Marvel's other version of Silver Surfer.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Joey, what did you think of the trailer?
What did I think of the trailer?
Yeah, what did you think of the trailer?
I think my favorite part of the trailer, besides being a pedant about Blockbuster, is how young Samuel L. Jackson looks in it.
He looks creepy, man.
His
son just doesn't sit right with me about that. Like, it just get an uncanny valley effect on his face.
He looks like he does back in like Long Kiss Goodnight. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, but it's just like something's off about it. It's not Jeff Bridges' Wile E. Coyote back in Tron Legacy.
I can't tell if it's just because his hair is like
yeah,
it.
It just feels weird.
That's how I remember him looking back in the 90s. That's what I remember. Samuel L. Jackson running around, like driving around the city with
Jurassic
Bruce
Park?
Willis.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the Jurassic Park hair?
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he did in the 90s.
It just feels a little off. But Chris, do you enjoy the trailer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the trailer looks great.
Yeah, I know you're pretty big on the Marvel movies and stuff.
Yeah. I'm with Joey on this one. It's so weird how young they made him look.
Yeah, I think most of that's probably CGI, a little bit of makeup, probably. They're probably the same thing they did with Michael Douglas.
Well, yeah,
Please
definitely, but it actually looks well done.
Yeah.
Looks
So do you
very
think he's
well
going to say the MF word in this movie?
I seriously doubt it. He's going to say many friends.
He got close to saying it in Avengers 2, this close.
Well, that's about as close
they
as
cut
you're
him
gonna
off
get.
before he could finish the whole thing. So I'm like, yeah, he said it. He
DC
said it. This is finally a movie, because it's so weird seeing all these movies that he doesn't say it.
Leave those words to the DCU because they're dark and gritty, and that makes them good. Mm-hmm. I also really enjoyed this trailer. I think, to me, I feel like they should have drilled home the 90s thing a little bit more. The big thing is, to me, is the cinematography looks like any other Marvel movie, and I get it. They want to make these things look consistent. But along with the style and everything, I feel like it's going to be a little bit too oversaturated with, like, remember this? Remember Nine Inch Nails? Remember Nirvana? Remember blah, blah, blah?
You remember, I'll be there for you.
Yeah, it's going to be like Third Eye Blind posters everywhere and whatnot.
I'll be there for. Then it's all about Friends. It's probably, most likely we'll have a Friends reference in there somewhere.
Oh, it's going to be like that all the time, but I just feel like the cinematography should have looked a little bit more 90s-ish, maybe shot on film or something like that. I don't know. It's just a personal thing. It doesn't feel like the 90s unless it looks like the 90s.
Like someone's going to walk by, and then Phoebe sings Smelly Cat, oh, Smelly Cat.
Or she's going to go get a haircut, and it's the Rachel.
Yeah, the Rachel.
Oh, yeah, you know that's going to happen. It's going to be
It's definitely going to happen.
Speaking about definitely going to happen, Stan and Ollie is a movie about Laurel and Hardy, the comedians that you've never heard of.
They're the ones that did the grandpa movies.
Yeah, these great grandpa movies.
Oh, the great grandpa movies.
Because everyone's dad is 24. Anyway, this is star Steve Coogan and also a very fat John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
I got to say, I'm really excited for this movie. It looks really interesting. And, Laurel and Hardy are like the classic kind of comedy duo and everything. Yeah. I hope the movie is, a little bit better than the trailer. The trailer kind of made it look like, you ever seen one of those Funny or Die? Not even Funny or Die. It's Tropic Thunder, the beginning of Tropic Thunder, where they have like the fake movies, like when the dramatic actor things.
The parody trailers.
It felt just like 40% there. Like it almost did. Like I'm still like, I'm very intrigued partly because John C. Reilly, like when all that, he looks like kind of the Winston Churchill, Gary Oldman thing.
So did they put makeup on him?
I think so.
It looks like makeup is CGI.
No, it's real. Like it's most likely makeup in a fat suit and stuff like that. What they did for Gary Oldman.
Oh.
But I don't know. I'm excited for it. The trailer didn't really sell me on it though. I'm just more sold on the concept. What do you think, Tyler?
I believe I've only seen one Laurel and Hardy film.
Oh really? What was that?
I want to say there was a Mummy, and I think they were in Hawaii. I think it was. Trying to remember, but yeah, it was a long time. See, what I think about is is this film going to go in the vein of like a really good biopic, or is this going to be like a comedy? Oh, this they were comedy. If everybody assumed them as the funny guys, but in private life they were very depressed.
That's what I'm getting at, the Tropic Thunder-y kind of thing, where it's just like the tropes. I hope it's not the tropes. But Joey, what did you think?
I really like it. I think Laurel and Hardy are geniuses. I recognize John C. Reilly right away. It reminded me of Anthony Hopkins when he did, was it Churchill that he did? Or no, it was Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Right, where he had to wear the suit every day. Mm-hmm. And then Steve Coogan, man. I like Steve Coogan. He's one of those guys that does like a ton of movies, and you've probably seen him in it, and you probably never knew who he was. Yeah. And he's not Lee Pace.
No.
He's the.
We did a whole segment about that on the show, and I lost terribly. But yeah, I mean, they look pretty accurate. I mean, most of you probably don't even know what the original ones look like, but.
I thought he was Fat Hitler.
He does look like Fat Hitler. And I mean, that mustache was just extremely popular.
I guess it was popular back in the day.
Yeah, and the director of this also directed a movie called Filth that starred James McAvoy. That was really awesome, by the way. And that's what kind of gets me excited for this, and not so much the trailer, is because that guy's behind it. But anyway, last but not least, I wanted to split the Disney news up a little bit. Mary Poppins Returns came out with a new trailer. This is probably the highlight of our news this week.
Oh, no, the highlight of my news was Captain Marvel.
Okay, well, I'm excited for this most of all, but not quite like pumped out of my mind. I'm not pumped out of my mind for a whole lot of things. But real quick, Julie, what did you think of the trailer?
Oh man, Emily Blunt, Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm there. I was there yesterday. I'm ready for it to come out now.
Exactly. I have the same sentiments he has, and I wish Emily Blunt was my nanny back in the day.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Again,
I want Lin-Manuel Miranda to sing me to sleep. That's
perfectly acceptable.
I want him to, do you think he'll break out into a rap in Mary Poppins?
No. I don't think that's going to happen. If you don't know who Lin-Manuel, what was his name?
Lin-Manuel
Miranda.
Yeah.
He starred in a musical called Hamilton on Broadway. It was very, very huge.
Wrote it?
Yeah, he wrote it too. And it blew up. People that are involved with theater and film love that. So he's in this. He also wrote the music for Moana. So that is also interesting.
What is my policy on
if it's animated? Well, there's an animated part in this.
No. What is my policy on musicals?
It's only good if they're animated.
Exactly. Bam.
So I don't necessarily agree with that, but
yeah,
Chris,
I totally do.
You said you loved Mary Poppins when you were little. How do you think this one kind of feels compared to that one?
I mean, from the trailer, it seems very much like the field they were trying to sell, which was like the return of Mary Poppins and like the sort of rediscovery of like the kind of stuff she did in the first movie and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think they're selling that point fairly well.
I think this one is definitely soft reboot. I think that goes without saying. It's very, very obvious. But the good
Was
thing
that Angela Lansbury?
I've had that asked. And,
Oh my
Real
gosh.
quick, there's a clip coming up that I definitely want us to see right now. It's Mr. Dick Van Dyke when he shows up on screen. Just look at this man. He's 92 years old. Did you see that?
That's actually him too.
You see that?
Was
Well, we have a
actually him.
picture of Dick Van Dyke actually from the original movie when he played an older man in that movie, and him now. So
He looks just like him.
yeah, they look very, very similar. And he's up there dancing on the table and everything. Yeah, that picture right
Yeah,
there.
it looks just like him. That's the crazy part.
That's crazy. And apparently the people on the set were saying like he was tiring us out. Like we couldn't dance as long as he could. He was like, come on, let's do another take. And everyone else was exhausted. You know. So I'm very excited to see his performance. I don't think he's going to have too big of a part.
I don't know.
Yeah, and another thing, it's just a personal thing, but it also kind of goes into the quality of film. I swear, Pro Tools is ruining our musicals, man. Like, computer recording is ruining musicals. We saw Beauty and the Beast last year.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
It's a well-made movie, but oh my goodness, the song sounded so stale and boring because there's no, like, talent left in the song. It's so fixed up and everything. The cool thing about Mary Poppins and whatnot, you know, it had showcased some of the talent and some of the people's voices. It was kind of impressive to see it, you know, them do that kind of thing. Now it's just like nothing impressive. It just feels like a static, cold, like cynical kind of song playing behind people dancing. I don't know. That's just me personally. La La Land, I think, was a little bit different, but
I hated La La Land.
Well, Emma Watson, I don't think is really that vocally talented.
Yeah,
so
but I mean,
you have
still-
to enhance. I mean, Johnny Depp.
Sounds bad, though.
Johnny Depp for Sweeney Todd, like he's talking the lines, he's not actually singing. And they
I
had
didn't
the
like
professional.
that's more of
singers
a personal
do
thing
the
on my
B
part. I think
parts.
it irks the crap out of me. But
See, I didn't like Sweeney Todd. I thought it was too much singing in it. Yeah,
Oh my god!
but
It's a musical.
yeah.
well, Tyler doesn't like musicals.
I don't like musicals unless.
As far as this goes, we're kind of going back to like the spectacle film. Like we talked a little bit earlier, Joey, about kind of back in like the 50s and like the 40s and whatnot. There was a really big thing, like the big spectacle movies, the big dance numbers, hundreds of people dancing and whatnot. And
Yeah,
La La
the-
Land was kind of a throwback to that.
Yeah, because back in the day, it was real popular to have a movie based on a Broadway production.
Yeah, and when it was also just kind of like, we want to entertain you.
Well,
and
it's
they were
just like
just
the
doing all
golden
these
age of
big
cinema,
things.
man. It's just like the golden age of cinema in big screen, which is why La La Land, if you didn't see it in theaters and you watched it at home, you probably didn't like it. If
It's
your
not
only
that fun to
viewing
watch
was
in
at
the home.
So,
But in a theater with people,
Yeah,
that's why they had sing-along versions of La La Land showing.
yeah,
Because
I did not like it at all. I saw it in the theater. I'm like, this is too much singing. I mean, it's like too much dancing, too much singing. I was like, why is everybody on the cars? I'm like, this is getting ridiculous.
Well, I'm enjoying it for the spectacle value, and I imagine it's going to probably be a solid 6 out of 10.
See, I really didn't like the first Mary Poppins.
Okay, you're a psychopath.
It's
Guys,
too much singing. That's what I felt like it was too much singing.
thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns that you want to leave, you can leave a comment at facebook.com/studio67ncc. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. We really do appreciate you guys watching. And let us know you're watching. We really do appreciate it. So we're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we got a really fun segment about directors.
It's
that come
called
back.
Return of the King.
Well, it's about directors coming back to their old properties. But
I thought we were talking about like all the properties of Lord of the Rings.
no, we're not.
Oh,
Stay with us.
I was.
When it comes to culinary arts, Nash Community College is here to turn your burning passion for food into a career. Our chefs, with over 70 years of highly qualified industry experience, are here to point you in the right direction, teaching and handing down classical culinary techniques that will improve your skills and help you cut your way into the food industry. Gain invaluable experience, vital to cooking and preparing delicious food, served in a personal and creative environment. To learn more about the Culinary Arts program, visit nashcc.edu.
It's time to pursue your career in veterinary medicine. Nash Community College now offers an Associate in Applied Science degree in Veterinary Medical Technology. This is your chance to become a registered vet tech and work with a variety of animals. Learn about radiology, client education, animal wellness, treatment, laboratory techniques, anesthesia, and more. Now accepting applications. Call 252-451-8390 or visit nashcc.edu/VMT today.
And then I said, Alexa, please call the police.
Guys, How you doing? This is Isaac Anderson.
I am Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Don't think that's his name. But this is Big Bang Cinema. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. And real quick, there's a lot of directors going back to some of their old properties, like James Cameron, Shane Black with Predator. Yeah, and it's just kind of a common trend now. So I thought it might be fun for us to do a segment based around that. It's got to call Return of the King or Queens. You know, depends if it's a female director or not. And we want to talk about directors that have come back to their old properties and either redone it or done a sequel to it.
Or made it even better.
Yeah, and we have a few up here. So we're going to start with some of the good. So the good for me, I'm just going to go ahead and start us. There's a man named George Miller. He directed a movie called Mad Max a long time ago, back in the 1970s, I believe. He also made The Road Warrior, which was a sequel to Mad Max.
And Thunderdome. He did Thunderdome?
I think he did Thunderdome, yeah. All great movies. 30-something years go by. Man turns like 74 or what? Isn't he like 74? He's born in the 40s. He's got to be like in his 70s at
68.
least.
I'd say 68.
He's up there. And he decides, I got another Mad Max in me. And he made Mad Max Fury Road. And if you've never seen Mad Max Fury Road, it's basically an hour-and-a-half long car chase. But it's the best hour-and-a-half long car chase you've ever seen in your entire life.
It's wild.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you know me, I'm big on like plot structure and Now, not all movies have to be that. It depends is that what they're going for. And this movie definitely did it right. The movie stars a very silent Tom Hardy that, yet again, is covering his face most of the movie, and Charlize Theron. And basically, they steal an oil tanker, and it just keeps going. And it's some of the most awesome action scenes, awesome spectacle things. And yeah, a 75-year-old man directing these action sequences.
73. He's 73.
He's 73. 73-year-old man directing these action
Wow.
sequences. It's just mind-blowing that he still has this kind of creativity and still has this kind of energy
Wow, what a
in his
day, what a
filmmaking.
day, what a lovely, lovely day.
Yeah, and I mean, the plot's kind of razor thin, but the biggest thing is he made his old films irrelevant with this. I mean, you don't need those old films anymore. You can still watch them, but this one's kind of like, why would you need that? This one's just better in every single way, effects-wise, cinematography-wise,
It's perfect in
direction-wise.
every way.
It's a lot.
In every way.
It's one of the best movies made in the last 25 years.
It's
for
awesome,
sure.
yeah. It's super enjoyable.
good.
You can get something out of it pretty much any time, and it's definitely one of the best returns to a franchise. He revolutionized it, you know.
Yeah, he did.
He won Oscars for this, didn't he?
Everything except for best film.
Okay. Joey, what did you say for one of the best returns for the director?
So I picked M. Night Shyamalan.
And I'm up here for you this one too. I totally agree.
Yeah, so revisiting the Unbreakable universe. So Unbreakable, Bruce Willis. And, you know, M. Night Shyamalan had some pretty poor movie choices after
2004. I told you before, 2004, I feel like he left this planet, left somebody else in.
Let's picture from his best
Is that
movie
last
up there.
the last
It's his
Airbender?
best movie.
Lay that one. That one's pretty bad.
I think he did this one, After Earth, the terrible movies.
The Village.
His only highlight during that period was he helped write The Devil, and Devil's like an all right film.
Yeah. So Split, which came out a couple of years ago. Or
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Very, very interesting. Very, very good. James McAvoy, super underappreciated.
Yes.
He acted very well.
This reminded me of Terminator 2 when the Metal Man's dying and he's like changing all those people all at one time. He did the same thing, no special effects. It was just you could see his face, his manner. Just you could see rolling through the different characters, and it was just like you could look at him, tell which character he was without actually having to have the costume. Well, I mean, without saying, you could look at him and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the character that he is currently portraying. It was incredible.
Exactly. And then you weren't even sure that it was in the Unbreakable universe until at the very end when you see Bruce Willis as what's his Danny? Is that his name?
No, Danny was Danny's son. Frank, was it Frank?
Unbreakable Man.
Unbreakable Man.
David Dunn.
David
Dunn.
Dunn.
David Dunn. That's his name.
I know it was a DD. I knew it was that.
David Dunn. That's his name. So you see him at the end, see the villain.
And then they say, well, wasn't there like didn't they name a big villain a while back? He was blowing up trains. Yeah. Yes, his name was Glass. I was like, oh my gosh! My gosh!
And then we just had the trailer for Glass, and I was just like, what?
I mean, even like the Beast itself was probably one of the coolest villains I have ever seen. I mean, it was based off of like different personality. It was just brilliant.
Well, we covered some of the good ones, okay? but there's also been some sucky ones. So, Joey, I know you just went, but can you name one of the worst ones?
So I'm going to say Troy Duffy returning to Boondock Saints. Boondock Saints 2 was bad. Troy Duffy had almost a decade to write it and everything, and it suffered tremendously. He either tried too much or he wrote it the night before. Either way, it didn't work. Willem Dafoe was not in it nearly as much as he needed to be, and it was just bad. Like the things that worked early to make it a cult classic did not work in the sequel, and time is the factor there. And Troy Duffy's just kind of a jerk. So.
Exactly.
Allegedly, but it's true.
There's a documentary.
Yeah, there's a whole
documentary about how much
bad
of a jerk
he
he is. It's called
acts.
Overnight. He's the worst. So watch that.
You me take the next one for you? Good. I got one. I totally agree with this one too. It's Super Troopers 2. They've had the Broken Lizard group had so many years to get this right and a whole bunch of Kickstarter money, and they just cranked out a copy from the first one. It's in Canada. Yeah, it's in Canada. I mean, that's all that they change about. It's the same jokes. Some of the jokes weren't even as good as they were the first time. I mean, it's just.
It never is when you do it the second time.
I mean, it's the same exact thing over. I mean, personally, I want to see a sequel. I want to be something more zany, more crazy. That I just got Ramrod all over again.
It's the only movie I fell asleep while I was watching it, Super Troopers 2, in the theater.
It even had Jeremy Sisto in it, and it wasn't even good.
Or that. There's a really weird part with Rob Lowe in there, too.
Yeah.
I like Rob Lowe's character in that. But I got the granddaddy that beats all the things that you ever said combined, okay? This is George Lucas with the Star Wars prequels. Now, most of you know Star Wars, and if you don't, why are you watching the show? Watch Star Wars, please. Not these. But back in 1999, it'd been about 20 years or so. It was not quite 20 years, but and George Lucas decides, I'm going to make another Star Wars movie. And everyone thought this was going to be the greatest thing that's ever happened. I mean, can we pull up the magazine with all the cast in there? Who did not think this was going to be awesome? That was living back in 1999. Who didn't think this was going to be the greatest movie ever? The original creator of Star Wars is making another Star Wars movie? How could this? How in the world could this be bad? And
it's too big to fail.
Yeah, it's one of the worst things that's ever happened.
Yeah.
And he made 2 more. And the second one was worse than the first one. And the third one, despite what people say, it's not a good film. I don't care what you say. The third one's not a good film. Hayward. But you talked a little bit about God directed Boondock Saints. He wrote some of the stuff during the weekend. George Lucas wrote part of this movie on the way to the set.
Yeah.
That's a confirmed fact.
See, but my big question is, 82 was the last Star Wars film, the original. So he had close to 17 years to get this movie written. He writes it all the way to the set. I mean,
he wrote a little bit before. That was one part, but yeah, he used the excuse I made it bad on purpose. No, you didn't. It just sucks. And we've beaten that dead horse enough. Enough of that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you tune in to Quick Flicks tomorrow. We reviewed The Predator, the new Shane Black movie. Mr. Joey D's on that. That'd be fun. And next week you're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna watch. It's either going to be the House with the Clock in the Walls or Assassination Nation.
Let's watch both and do neither one.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much for watching. Chris, thank you so much for being here. As always, you can watch Game On. Well, you can't watch it. You can listen to it. When they listen to it?
You listen to Game On every Thursday from 1 to 2 on 89.1 FM. Your source to game music, news, reviews, and remixes.
That's right. And Joey, thank you so much for coming. Please come back, man. We really do appreciate you being on. We love it.
Of course. Natalie Portman at me, even though the trilogy was bad. I still love you.
And she's 45 years old now. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And she also has children.
And she's really scary, too.
Hey, Joey, I heard,
I already have the body of a stepdad. Bring it on.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Isaac Anderson.
I am Tyler.
Stay lively, guys.